Maranatha, Christ is coming. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see everyone's smiling faces. Hope everybody had a good week with their family. I know it's the holidays for a lot of people, so I hope all of you had a good opportunity to see some loved ones that you don't normally get to see, have some good food, have some good memories, and it's good to see everyone here in the house of the Lord. I'm going to go ahead and start here just with a short health nugget. I'm going to try not to take too long, but I know that our church really struggles with, there's all sorts of illnesses that people struggle with, especially in our church, but two illnesses that I see really frequently are cancer and autoimmune disease. I see both of these with a lot of frequency in the church. And these are two things that would be especially benefited by being well educated on just how important gut health is. Because if you have a healthy gut, it helps tremendously when you're trying to combat these diseases, because if you don't have a healthy gut, then your chances of beating these illnesses are very slim. But if you're able to equip yourself with the knowledge and the ability to get your gut health under control and to have it thrive and be healthy, your ability to fight these diseases, your body has an incredible ability to heal itself, right? Our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made. If we just give our bodies the things they need, they can heal most things. Most, of course, not everything. Ultimately, healing does come from the Lord. But our bodies do have a tremendous ability to heal themselves if we just give it the things that it needs. And your gut is maybe the most important thing when it comes to fighting these types of diseases. Your gut is maybe the most important single system when it comes to overall health. If you have a healthy gut, pretty much everything is either healthy or greatly benefited. Your nervous system, your immune system, your mental health, everything is tremendously benefited by the health of the gut. It's extremely important. In fact, they even call the gut the second brain, because the gut, there's a nerve that connects the gut to the brain. It's called the vagus nerve. And the health of the gut directly affects your mental health. Your gut also produces serotonin. I don't know if you know that, but people who struggle with anxiety and depression, these things, again, it's your gut health. Your gut health plays a significant role in your actual mental health as well. There's a lot of cultures, like I know they have it in Japan and India and different cultures, where they say if two people are having an argument, then you should look at what they ate the previous day. And there's truth to it. There's truth to it, because it directly affects your irritability, your depression, your anxiety, your emotions. There's a direct connection between these things. And there's a subsystem inside of your gut called the microbiome. I don't know if you've heard of that, but I'm sure all of you are aware that your gut is full of bacteria, right? And most of these bacteria are good. You need bacteria in your gut. But there's so many microbes in your gut. There's more microbes in your gut than there are stars in the Milky Way. Now, that's how many microbes you have. You have more microbes in your gut than you have actual human tissue cells. It's like 3 times as many or more than you have actual tissue human cells in your body. They're extremely numerous. And these things are extremely important in regulating all the systems in your body. So normally you want these bacteria, but when you're in a normal state, when they're healthy, when you have the right bacteria, you're in a state of what's called normal biosis. When you're in a state of dysbiosis, that's when you have more pathogenic bacteria than healthy bacteria. And whenever you're in a state of dysbiosis and you have more pathogenic bacteria in your gut than healthy bacteria in your gut, that's when it sets the stage for all these illnesses, cancers, autoimmune diseases, all these sorts of things. And you may also, people who are struggling with autoimmune disease, 70% of your immune cells live in your gut. 70%. It's a huge, huge deal. There's nothing more important than controlling what you're eating if you're dealing with autoimmune disease. You can take medications, whatever you think is best, but it's your diet. Your diet is the number one thing when you're trying to control autoimmune disease. Again, 70% of your immune cells live in your gut. When you think about it, it makes sense, because your body is a closed system. The only external things that come into the body are either when you're breathing air or whenever you're eating things and you're taking things into your gut. So your immune cells are there on standby, just in case anything bad gets in, they're there to take care of it. So that's why 70% lives there. But whenever your gut is chronically inflamed, you're eating things that are inflaming your gut, that are making you sick, it makes the immune cells malfunction. and they're unable to tell friend from foe, and that's how autoimmune diseases develop. So it's extremely important. So a couple quick tips when it comes to that, because first of all is to stop eating the things that you know are bad. You all know what you're eating, which are bad. You know, I don't need to tell you those things. Just the things that are obviously bad, that's really the first place to start. To start cutting out small but permanent steps, right? You don't have to go all at once, but just one little thing. And maybe it's instead of drinking soda every day, if there's people who drink soda every day here, instead of drinking it every day, drink it every other day. But turn that into a permanent thing. You're never going back. And then every other day becomes twice a week, and then twice a week becomes once a week until you eventually don't do it at all anymore. But small but permanent steps. Not more than you can handle, but once you do it, don't look back, right? Remember Lot's wife, right? Don't look back. Once you do it, you stay there, and that's just the way you live now for the rest of your life. And so that's a good place to start. Another couple tips is I wouldn't recommend eating fermented foods. A lot of people say that fermented foods are good for gut health. People say eat things like sauerkraut, kimchi, things like this. And it's possible for those things to be good. The argument is that these things have healthy bacteria and they help your microbiome to be healthy. But whenever you're fermenting food, it's literally rotting food. And so you can't control the bacteria that gets in there. There's going to be some good and some bad, and it may be a lot of bad. You just can't control it. You're rolling the dice on it. It's a gamble. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. I think it's a risky way to go about trying to regulate your gut health. So I would stay, especially if you're dealing with autoimmune diseases, I would stay away from fermented foods. And then, of course, as Adventists, which we should know, is that you need to stop eating animal products eventually. Because most of us here probably eat animal products. And if you are, I understand, but slowly we should try to start weaning ourselves off of those things, because animal products, just think about how meat is when you leave it on the counter just for a few hours. It goes bad quick, right? Meat goes bad quick. And you know the smell of rotten meat? That's not the actual meat. That you're smelling bacteria. Is because it attracts so much bacteria. That's what that smell is. That's what the foul taste is. It's the bacteria. They attract so much pathogenic bacteria. The same thing happens in your gut. When you eat those things ferment and rot in your gut the same way, putrefies in your gut the same way as if you're leaving it out on the counter. So especially, again, if you're dealing with cancer, autoimmune diseases, a lot of us are, these are things that you should slowly start to wean yourself off of. And plant-based food is just better for that. Fiber is probably the best thing you can have when it comes to having healthy bacteria, because healthy bacteria loves fiber. Fibrous foods that's what they eat. They primarily eat fiber, and plant-based food just happens to be very rich in fiber. So again, I just want to encourage all of you to take it serious. You know, you only get one shot at this life, and so you want to live this life in health, and remember that the way that we care for our bodies is part of the way that we worship the Lord. It's part of it. Everything that we do, including what we eat and drink, is all to the glory of God.